Christ is among us. My beloved, if we look at the reading from the Acts of the Apostles of today, we read, when the day of the Pentecost has come, they were all together in one place, and suddenly a sound came from heaven like the rush of a mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. It's a high house. And the scholars believe that it was the house of Saint John the Divine. They were together. There were about 50 persons, including the Theotokos, the Mother of God, was with them. And it was the last mention of her in the Gospel. So it was the last time she was mentioned. When the day of Pentecost means 50. So it's the 15th day. اليوم الخمسين. اليوم الخمسين, the Pentecost, or the 15th day, was a feast in the Old Testament for the Jews when summer starts and they bring the first fruits they have, what we call it in Arabic, al-bukur, the first fruits, al-bukur, أي كلما يأتي باكرا من الثمر. They were gathering and offering the fruits they had. So, for this reason, in the Pentecost day, we notice that a lot of people comes from all the region nearby. So they came to celebrate the Pentecost in the Old, as it is mentioned in the Old Testament. But if we reread the Gospel of today according to St. John, come in. If we read again the Gospel of John of today, we notice that the Lord promised His disciples to send them the Spirit. The Spirit was not known yet as the Holy Spirit, but He was talking about that He will give them, He will send them the Spirit. سوف يرسل لهم الروح. والروح ذاته هو الروح القدس. And that Spirit is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the third God we have in the same Trinity. And as we noticed in the Epiphany or the Theophany of Eid al-Qas, what we call Theo, which means God, and Phany is appearance. So it is the appearance of God, the appearance of the same Trinity. Jesus was the Son who was standing in the water, and the voice of the Lord, of the Father God, of the God Father, who said, "This is my Son, who I am pleased with." And we saw it all. She stood on his shoulder. If we can notice, in the icon that we see of the Saint Trinity, we see the dove is the symbol of the Holy Spirit. So we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. For this reason, we, the Orthodox Christian, we put our 3 fingers to do the cross, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So he, before he ascended to heaven, he promised to send the Spirit. So we celebrate today, my beloved, the Pentecost Day. If you see that the Great Feast of Pentecost. So we celebrate the Pentecost Day, أو عيد العنصرة, أو عيد الخمسين. We celebrate it today, and we heard how simple people like the disciples, who were fishermen, most of them were fishermen. They never went to school. And maybe they never read the Old Testament, or at least they are not expert in the Bible or in the Old Testament. So they started speaking all the languages and preaching the people who are coming from all the region, and they were talking about Christ and about his coming and about his sacrifice for us on the cross. He died for us to save us, and people believe in what they say. So all of them, these people are from Galilee, and they are speaking our languages. They started to speak to anyone his language. So it is the gift of the Holy Spirit. It came like tongues on their head, and they started talking. And I will assure you, my beloved, that they say that 3,000 people believed in Christ. And they formed the first primitive church in Jerusalem. شكلوا الكنيسة الأولى, the primitive church in Jerusalem, in Philadelphia, in the high house of John the Divine. So they were the first Christians started the church during that day. For this reason, we call it the Great Pentecost Day, the Great Feast of Pentecost, because it was the beginning of the church there. Most of the people who became Christian during that day were Jews from a Jewish background. A year after that, in Antioch, it was formed the Church of Antioch, but all the people came, anyone. It was not necessary to have a Jewish background to be a Christian, because Jesus Christ came for humanity. He came for everybody of us. I wish you, my beloved, a great day in the great feast of Pentecost.